Y'all really thought Vinny was gonna leave, huh? Y'all really thought he was gonna go to that small little club in London and leave Real Madrid, right? Y'all really thought he was gonna leave us? Vinny has just renewed till 2030, and let's get straight into it because this was one of the priorities in the summer. Renewing Vinny was the priority in the summer, in my opinion, right? We got a couple, we got Cucurella, we've gotten Diomande, we've gotten signings, right? But prioritizing Vinny was one of the main things, right? I'm so happy for the other signings. Cucurella, I'm very happy for. We got Dumfries. We have other play. We got Diomande. We got another striker. These are very good signings. But renewing Vinny was just one of the priorities for this summer. It was so important, and it's done. It's signed. We just announced comunicado oficial. Vinny is staying, right? And let's talk a little bit about it, right? Because I really like Vinny, right? When everyone was talking about that Mbappe Vinny last season, I try to stay neutral. I try to stay neutral. But I just my bias is towards Vinny. Vinny has done so much for this club. We even when we were at his worst, Vinny was the little spark we had alongside Benzema. It's just we really needed to sign him. I have a soft spot for Vinny. He's done a lot for Real Madrid. He scored Champions. He has two Champions League final goals for two different Champions Leagues. He had a Ballon d'Or season, right? He didn't win it. Rodri won it at the end, but we all know how good Vinny was in that season, and the way everyone was talking about him to Arsenal. I follow a lot of the Premier League content creators, and everyone's talking about, oh, if Vinny lands, he's gonna win everything. But in my head, I just didn't think he would leave. Vinny has always talked about how much he loves Real Madrid. He's always talked about how special it needs it. It's his home. He loves it there. He just loves Real Madrid. He just loves the place. He loves the club. And he'll leave at some point. I have a feeling if he were to leave, he'd leave when he's 32, 33, maybe near those ages. But not right now. He's what, 25, 26 years old. He's not gonna leave Real Madrid right now. I saw everyone talking about how Arsenal were gonna go back to back, win their first Champions League. But I just knew he wasn't gonna leave. There was part of me that was like, oh, what if he does leave? What if? But genuinely, I never thought he would leave Real Madrid, especially not now and his prime age. If he does end up leaving, like I said, he'll be 32, 33, maybe around those ages. Plus, Florentino loves Vinny, right? And we've seen how impactful Florentino's been in choosing which players stay, with choosing his players. When they walk by, everyone knows how he handshakes certain players and he hugs others. Vinny is one of Florentino's favorite players. He's one of his favorite people. Every time he sees Vinny, he hugs him. When everyone's talking about, oh, Jose Mourinho and the Prestani situation with Vinny, but Mourinho is one of those managers. He's gonna back his players, right? So if Prestani was his player, he was gonna back him. But now that Vinny's his player, he's gonna back him. And we even in that whole interaction, Jose Mourinho and Vinny were like hugging each other and talking to each other's ears and talking about it. It's not like they were pushing and shoving and throwing hands at each other, right? So I think that they would build a good relationship. And Jose Mourinho has said it, right? I'm pretty sure he came out and said something that he has what it takes. He knows how to make Vinny and Mbappe work, which is what everyone's been talking about, right? While listening to some of the content creators talk about it, they were talking about how they don't see Mbappe and Vinny working, right? And I've talked about it, right? When we went trophyless again last season, I went on a little tantrum. I got annoyed. I said that one of the big players has to leave. But if there's one man that could work with the Eagles, if there's one guy that could work alongside, and then he's built something very special, right? Because Cucurella has come out and said Vinny doesn't have to come track back and defend. I'll defend the whole left side if I have to. There's something very nicely is getting built, right? I'm getting more optimistic as the weeks go by. The season's getting closer. The signings are arriving and going with Jose Mourinho, right? Cucurella is still not there yet, right? He's still vacation. Was in the World Cup final, but you seen Dumfries is now integrating himself back in. Mbappe will soon integrate himself, I'm pretty sure, alongside Cucurella and all the other players that made it really far. But it's starting. Things are starting to shape up. Things are starting to sound good. There's now with this Vinny signing. There's just a positive. There's a positive environment. There's a positive atmosphere around Real Madrid right now. I feel like before the renewal, there was a lot of question marks. But even I'm saying that now there's a lot of positive atmosphere. But even yesterday, there's a lot of reports coming out that it's pretty close. They had a positive meeting. Real Madrid put their up what they were gonna give him. So there's just a lot of things that in the last couple of days we've been hearing that it's happening, it's happening. All it needed was Vinny to get back from vacation, and things just started to move smoothly. Vinny was on vacation. He had a good World Cup. He wasn't really thinking too much about it because in his mind, I'm pretty sure in Vinny's mind, he had no doubt. He had no doubt. There's so many reports that Arsenal are close, that they agreed terms in case he doesn't renew Real Madrid. Maybe it's Vinny's manager and his person doing all that talking and blah blah blah. But I have no doubt that in Vinny's mind, he never thought he would leave Real Madrid. He never crossed his mind that he was going to leave Real Madrid. I'm pretty sure of that. And positive atmosphere now, right? Because not just Real Madrid fans weren't the only ones that wanted Vinny to stay at Real Madrid, right? Premier League fans, worldwide fans didn't want Vinny to go to Arsenal, right? And this is one of those things where I never thought it would, but then you think of the idea of what could have happened, but I just never thought he would join. The Premier League fans were saying, "Oh, Vinny, I don't think. What if he joins?" I don't. Never thought he would join. Never thought he. I don't even think it crossed Vinny's mind. I'm very excited for his renewal. It's very comforting that Vinny is staying. I'll keep it there, right? And now there's a lot of talk. Barcelona, Rodri are looking for Rodri, but the thing is, right? Rodri has to get surgery. He's gonna be out for a month or two, right? And it's one of those things where I would rather kept Vinny and the squad we have right now than signed Rodri, right? And Barca could keep Rodri. They could talk about taking Rodri. I don't really care because he was never a priority. He was never a thought about it. If we got Rodri, then it would have been nice, right? It would have been good. He's a good player. He's one of the best. He's probably the best midfielder in the world right now. But it's not something that I'm a don't lose sleep over. So keeping Vinny was something that I might have lost some sleep over. I just felt like we had to renew him sooner than later. The league is about to start. We have to get ready for that. We need to win trophies this season. That is the main thing this season. We have to win trophies. And it's not like I don't think Rodri he's the best midfielder in the world right now, but it's not something that like I said, it's not something I'm gonna lose sleep to if we don't get Rodri, right? He had a very good World Cup. He's a very good player, talented, one of the best of all time. But he's not someone I really thought or I really was very excited to for him to join Real Madrid. So if Barcelona take him, they could take him. I don't mind it. Him and Pedri don't have good chemistry. They play very similar roles, so I'm not too worried about how they're gonna work. But man, renewing Vinny, Cucurella and Vinny on both on the left. Then we have Dumfries as a Trent backup. And even in the preseason games, Mourinho's been using him kind of like a right wing, right? Because of how he probably just wants to get some really solid defense. And Dumfries going forward has some of the best crosses. He has some very good attacks. So it makes sense. Konate is yet to integrate himself into the team. Like, I think it's like the Cucurella, the Mbappe, the Konates, all these players that made it to the final and made it to the third place game. All these players haven't integrated themselves yet, and that's something that I'm excited to see. But Cucurella for me is probably the biggest signing we could have done. Yes, Diomande was the most expensive. I think he's probably one of the most expensive signings, if not the most expensive signing we have done. But the Cucurella signing for me is the most important. It's the biggest signing because although we got Alvaro Carreras last season, he just didn't convince me at all. When Ferland Mendy was back from his injury, I wanted Ferland Mendy to start. And now that Cucurella is here, he's someone that rarely gets injured. He's very consistent. He shows up in big games. He's a very good left back. He's one of the best left backs in the world. Right under Nuno Mendes. I'm very happy we got Cucurella. He's probably my favorite signing that we got. Yes, Diomande is nice, young, talented. The striker we got, he's young and talented and can score goals. Dumfries is a very good right-sided player. Konate, I don't really like Konate. I'm not Konate's biggest fan. But Cucurella for me is the biggest signing, and him alongside Vinicius Jr. is going to be a very good chemistry. I feel like even their personalities work together, right? Vinny is a very happy, positive player. Cucurella is someone that people say he's very fun. He's very funny. He's someone good to be around. And it's just going to be a very good. I'm very optimistic about this season. I'm very excited about this season. Vini just renewed. We have some very good signings. Jose Mourinho is at the forefront of this project. Mbappe came coming from a very good World Cup. Jude Bellingham coming from a good World Cup. I'm very interesting to see how our midfield is going to look. Is it going to be Chouameni, Valverde? Camavinga hasn't really done too much in preseason. Some of the clips I've seen him are pretty bad. So I'm pretty sure it'd probably be Chouameni and Valverde. But Arda Güler, he's apparently very liked by Jose Mourinho. I really like Arda Güler. Is he going to start? Is Diomande going to start? Is Rodrigo back from injury? We're up for a very interesting season. I'm very excited for it. But Vinny just renewed, and that's something I'm very, very happy about. Peace.